This is Vampire Kisses 85, Kurai's Curse. Written by Saichi Kohana. Read by Saichi Kohana and Bonk. Enjoy the video.
I didn't have control over my body. I saw Cathy struggling against Shuichi before my body went limp, and I was back in the mindscape. I looked over to the walls, and they were a bright white color. It almost made my eyes hurt looking at it. It looked so pure and bright. It was making my head spin. I seemed to be alone, which honestly wasn't preferable because of my main fear. But I need to analyze the situation before doing anything. Okay, the walls are all white, and one of them has a mirror on it. I'm sure it's one of the mirrors that are double-sided, like in an interrogation room. So that means whoever is here can see me, but I can't see them. That puts me at a disadvantage, but we can work around this. There was a white table in the middle of the room with a razor blade and another vial of something next to it. I was confused by this before two chairs rose up from the floor. This must be whatever the other person wants from me. And knowing the way he possessed Cathy only moments ago, this must be Kurai.
Kurai,
I said, moving in front of the glass.
Show yourself!
I yelled out, banging my hand against the glass, which caused it to crack. I wonder how hard I have to hit to break the damn mirror. Guess we're going to find out, I thought to myself before he laughed from behind the window as I struck it again. The glass shattered and cut into his cheeks and neck as it moved around him. He didn't even flinch at this, and his eyes met my own. His whole face was full of despair, filled to the brim with hopelessness and just full of malice.
here I am, Kokichi,
he said before he morphed into Shuichi. He looked exactly like him, and it honestly made me feel confused. But I knew this was all part of the game. I'm certain that he wanted me, or himself, to use that razor to take some of my blood before force-feeding me that fluid next to it. I wasn't sure how the fluid would come into the equation if he was able to get my own blood.
That's not fair,
I said with a piercing glare. He flinched a bit at this before tears came into his eyes.
But, Kokichi, why don't you love me anymore?
He cried at Shuichi, and it took a lot out of me to not just move over to him and hold him in my arms to make him feel better. I have to remember that this is just this game to get me to break. I won't give that power to him.
You aren't Shuichi, and you never will be.
I yelled out before I felt his arms around me.
Oh, but don't you want Shuichi to overpower you, make you his own?
He teased me again, making me take a few steps back. I need to calm down. He just wants me to react badly. So just don't let him see it.
Well, you know I love him more than anything, but I don't want to force him to do anything. That takes the fun out of it.
I teased back, putting my arms behind my head. He groaned under his breath before smiling back at me. Okay, that only ended up making him mad at me. So I need to be able to control his emotions better. I need to beat him at his own game of manipulation.
Well, that's bold of you to say. I can see your desires, you know,
he said, making my breath hitch a bit before I remembered. Sin and I are the ones with heart and soul connection, so she would be able to see my heart's desire, not him. Well, I hope anyway. I haven't heard Sin at all since I've been here.
How could you know that? I could be lying, you know,
I said before winking at him. I don't desire for Shuichi to dominate me. I just want us to take this at our own pace. If we get there, we get there. But if we don't, I still love him just as much. He seemed to notice me cutting through his words to reveal what a poor lie he told. He flinched and took a couple of steps back. I felt my confidence come back. He seems nervous, so I must be getting closer to why I'm trapped here, with him in this mindscape.
Well, too bad for you.
he said, lowering his head before his eyes came back up to meet mine. I flinched at his gaze before he started floating.
I have more control over here because you, an immature vampire, don't have control over your mindscape yet,
he said before I moved into the chair as it came under me. I flinched and fell against it as it pulled me into it. Straps were moved around my arms and ankles. I just rolled my eyes before his hand went over my mouth. I flinched at this before he shushed me.
It'll only take a moment. Can't make Veronica have to wait longer than she has to,
he said in the same lovey-dovey tone. It made my blood boil. He can't be saying things like this to me. Shuichi can, but he wouldn't be doing things like this, right? I felt time stop as I realized something. I want to trust in Shuichi when he says he loves me, but I can't say this hasn't ever come across my mind. What if our relationship becomes like Cathy and Kurai? I know that he loves me, and Cathy mentioned before that she's never seen such a strong bond before. But what if Shuichi gets bored of me? What if he moves on from me just like Kurai with Veronica? What if this is all a lie?
Finally, it's working.
I heard his voice and it pulled me out of my own head. Shit, how long was I out? I finally looked at my arm and saw there was a cut up the middle, and the liquid seemed to be spilt all over the wound. Wait, what is this even going to do?
What's working?
I asked, giving him a deadpan look. He moaned a bit, making me look up at him, confused.
It's already working just like she said it would,
he said before I felt my mind come back to me. I opened my eyes and saw Shuichi above me looking down at me.
What the hell do you want?
I said, sounding cold. I couldn't even remember most of the things about Shuichi, and the harder I tried to remember, the more I forgot.
What's wrong, Kokichi?
He asked, putting a hand on my shoulder. I wanted to move into his arms, but my body moved away from him after swatting his arm away from me.
Don't touch me!
I yelled a bit as I stood up. Why am I acting so angry at him? He didn't do anything wrong. Wait, who even is Shuichi to me?
Shuichi Saihara changed you into a vampire. The cause of bites and being bitten. Cause of painful scars on your chest. Cause of the pain you were feeling mentally. Reason why you got possessed.
Shuichi Saihara. Sounds like a major asshole. Why did I even love him in the first place? What does love even feel like? Actually, who gives a fuck about that? I need to get away from this asshole. He's the reason why I'm a monster. Why did I even let him do this to me? Why was I so foolish in the past?
Kichi?
I heard him call again, with some tears in his eyes.
Don't call me Kichi, you monster.
I said back in a harsh tone. More tears came, and I went to move away from him. But there was this force keeping me in place. Tried to move again, before the wind came up against my chest, holding me back.
Sin, let me go. I can do this on my own, damn it.
I yelled, moving my hands to scratch at my chest. Shuichi moved over to me and held my hands in his own, despite me kicking my legs against him and struggling.
Get off me!
I yelled at him, trying to push him away again. He didn't say anything as I felt a pinch in my neck.
What did you do?
I started to ask before the world went black again.
This has been Vampire Kisses 85, Kurai's Curse. Written by Saichi Kohana and read by Saichi and Bonk. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon.